All right, we're live once again. Uh, Been an interesting week. Uh, with everything. Well, it's going to be tomorrow is going to be an interesting day, and we're going to see how this all goes for us. But I kind of do know a lot of people ask about mill surplus, the future of the hobby, and all this other stuff. And today I figured we'd talk a little bit about it. It's pretty complex because people ask, will the prices ever go down with mill surplus guns, the ammunition, and just even reloading? Will the prices ever come back down again? Because it's almost impossible to reload. And there's several things going on that could influence it. One of them, with Trump coming in as president, they've already started where Zuckerberg and all these people running these online things, they admitted they were forced to suppress people, forced to publish lies or block certain information from the public, that they were forced to do that. Um, and I kind of figured that. When it comes to the reloading, from what them fellows are telling me up in Canada, my God, paying $120 for 20 rounds of hunting ammunition for something like 303 British, which is a common caliber. I mean, the civilian ammunition makers, Remington, Winchester, and Federal, for years have made them old military calibers just because of the amount of those firearms that are out there and are still out there. Okay, so for it not to be done, there has to be an influence, and these companies are being pressured. And you say, well, how do they do that? Well, who is the number one or the largest consumer of any ammunition company's product? It's the federal and state governments. Okay, you got to remember law enforcement, everything else. So a lot of these businesses are closely, their biggest customers that keep them going are some form of government, be it federal, state, local. Okay, so and when they tell them you want us to keep the contracts going or not to, they can sway or force these companies into doing things which I wouldn't put it past them. But now, and you got to take the other thing into consideration. The economy is pretty terrible. I mean, these sales and discounts on both ammunition and, new firearms, which I call commercial firearms, which are not military surplus. They're a newly manufactured product. Where surplus is just what it says. It's more obsolete, or it's a used firearm that is being sold. Okay. And you do have not so much military surplus, but there are a lot of guns out there that are police surplus, which, like, whenever you see them selling a pile of Glocks, I guess the 40 millimeter Glocks now are the thing all being phased out. So you see it. Yeah, well, it's colder than hell where I am. It's raining today. I might try to work on reviving or resurrecting one of those muzzle loaders, but we're gonna get hit with a cold snap, and I ain't gonna be coming out of the house the rest of this week. I mean, tomorrow it's supposed to get cold, but towards the end of the week it's gonna get real cold. Morning, Peter. Megabait. Yeah, Sean. Rain or freezing cold? Yeah. So, like I said, a lot of people asking about, the mill surplus situation, both rain and freezing cold. Good. Um, and actually, I started watching some videos um, about, or not video, I was going to make a video about auctions. Okay. We don't discuss that on the channel. Okay. Don't bring up stuff that's going to get me suspended. Put it to you that way. Okay. But anyway, going back to the auctions, I went on a couple auctions. Actually, I picked up one or two items, which I haven't. I haven't looked for old rifles or anything for many, for a while, just because the prices are somewhat insane. But I went to one auction and it's a 20% uh, buyer's premium. So for every 100, it's like $20. So if you buy something for 5, you're tacking on another 100. And I mean, they had a whole bunch of KR98s and a whole assortment of rifles, which generally you kind of don't run into that. They had Craig's, Garand's, Springfield's, all of it. And all that stuff went high, and then you tack on, I mean, the lowest KR98 that was there went for like 950, and everything else was well over $1,000. Some of them over two. Well, that's what people say, but here's the thing: the economy's gonna crash here. I know that. Okay, Trump or no Trump, this has been building up, and I'm afraid we're going to get hit with a depression. Okay, once the bond market craps out and all this other stuff, and of course political infighting. Every time you have a presidential shift, it's kind of like when Obama come in. Obama come in, the housing market collapsed, and we kind of went into a recession. All right, and everybody blamed the guy. They're blaming him. He wasn't even in office 30 days, and they said he's responsible, and it's all because he was elected. All this, and it's bullshit. Okay, it took years to build that up to that collapse, long before that man was in office. So I see the same thing happening again. There is, if he does adjust things the way they are, there's going to be a lot of financial problems. Okay. All right. We're all fine, I guess. Morning from Florida. Are you going to get snow? Are you in the panhandle? Got to be down there in the Gulf. Miss out on this winter storm. But the problem also is when the economy collapses, and you guys, like I'm talking about these auctions, and if you guys got time, it's going to be on the 27th, 28th. And what you do is you go to Auction Zip. Okay, you go to Auction Zip and you look for Poland, POULIN''S, online firearms auction. Okay, now I've bid on some things on this auction, and this auction house gets a lot of unusual and neat stuff. They used to get a lot of antique stuff like needle fire guns and some of them older guns, where I don't need a FFL transfer. And for a lot of their auctions, They had a lot of this. Also, they do class 3 and all this other stuff. So this auction house covers a lot of things, anything from Civil War relics up to where if you got the pockets deep enough, you can buy some, automatic weapons and that. And like this auction, um, they're selling magazines. I guess the magazine craze, be it AK magazines, submachine gun magazines, whatever. Huge lots. Like I'm talking a $500 lot. There's a couple hundred mags or something. Um, because that was the thing that they were going to outlaw magazines because they could get away with it, not guns. They're just going to tell you that all your 30 round magazines are against the law and have to be destroyed. So people at one time were buying cases of AR-15 magazines and come out about $7 a piece for aluminum, mil spec, anti-tilt, top of the line things. You're dropping $700, and there are people that actually had caches of these magazines, and they would value it by the value of the magazines. So they went up to $15, $20. You got 7 in them, so if you got 100, that's how you, like a stock, that's how you look at it. Well, they're selling these, but even if you got the time, just go and look at what is there. Okay. Large selection of old military rifles, bolt action rifles, things like that. There's a whole selection of stuff in there. It's pretty interesting. There's some SKSs. There's some Dutch 1886 rifles. There's a couple Swiss Vetterlis, and an assortment of your standard. There's German rifles, there's KR-98s, there's some Argentine Mausers, and assorted different Mausers. And another thing, this place will tell you the condition of the bore. In Y2K, would turn on. Yeah, Y2K to Turner. I remember that. Y2K, that was another con. Yeah, they're on these auctions. Okay, I forget the other one. I did win a Ruby pistol on the other auction, kind of by mistake, and it was weird. I'll do a video on the gun and that. But there were several guns there, like I mentioned in the beginning. There were Enfields, there were a bunch of KR-98s, there were a whole assortment of different Mausers from different countries. And then that's what's on this Poland's auction. There's some Chilean, Peruvian, things like that. Well, I don't know what they're, when you go on the live auction, that's what I like to do is sit there and click on it. It's 20% buyer's premium on top of sales tax and shipping. So shit gets expensive real quick. Okay. Auction Zip. Okay. Auction Zip. And if you search, if you get an account, set up a search, and if you're looking for a specific gun, like what's his name said here, K31, Swiss K31 search, and it'll search all of these auctions, and they'll email you when an upcoming auction has this in there, and you'll get an email saying, hey, such and such Lake Poland. Okay, the reason they just sent me Poland's firearm auction is because I kind of bought and bid on things from them. So they kind of know that. So that's why they said, hey, they got a 2-day gun auction coming up. And, when I see it from them, and the hell is the other one? Muskegee Auction Company is another one. I bought several items. Like when they have their auctions come up, I get an alert, and I just go through and check them out, and see. Cold and snowing heavy. Yeah, it is. It's raining now, but it ain't gonna get until next week or something. I don't know if you're gonna get hit where you are with snow. I know the snow up up in New England, New York, Maine, and that they're gonna get pummeled. You know. Good morning. Find a Beretta 85 BB. I bought it somewhere. It was either one of the websites online that sell that stuff. I can't quite remember, and I've had it for a little over a year or two. I don't remember. It could have been, PSA was selling some, JG Wholesale was selling them, and then AIM Surplus or whatever, or one of them places had them. It comes in a cardboard box, and it was a standard thing. There were like several websites selling them, and I picked it up off of one of them. I know PSA's is selling one with the 13 round magazine, but they're rating them as good, very good, and they're like kind of poor to fair and beat the shit and stuff, and people didn't quite like it, and they didn't quite sell very well. But that was a while ago. I don't think nobody's offering them no more. It's like the 81s. They were around on 3 different websites. I think my friend may have bought it from what's that company down there? Not Century Arms. It's the one down there in Charlotte. He bought it from them, and they have them. I just shop around. When they come in, I'll go to the 3 different websites, and whoever's got a deal, it's the lowest. That's where I usually buy from. That's where I got it. But I did pick up, I don't know if you're the one that was buying the Royal Tiger Austrian 1888-90 or something, or there was another guy who has a handle close to yours. There's Navy Vet 76. I'm familiar with you, but there's another individual that also fools with a lot of the Royal Tiger Carcanos and the old Austrian guns. I've got another slant breech come in that I got, and I'll do a thing on that. And had to pay for that. And I went and looked up what the hell I paid for the one from Royal Tiger. They may have, but those are dried up. The single stack ones, because I think it came with a spare mag too. So it was quite a few years ago. PR-57. What is it? Let's look. Oh, it's a 5.7. Rotary barrel, top loading design. What is it, like a Steyr? Yep. Magazineless, 20 rounds. It loads like a damn Steyr. Oh my God, that's crazy. I might have to buy one of them just for the hell of it. What's the MSRP? $400? That is wild. That's crazy. Thanks for bringing that up. I have to keep an eye on that. You can get one of the ones made by Tias for under $300. I think they were $299 or something. Then they even lowered the price even more because I'm telling you guys, things are going to get rugged here coming up. Yeah, well, it's an older one. All those guns, the variations were made by what law enforcement department or whatever, like the 32 autos and the 81s were for the corrections department. And Beretta made the single stacks. I think they're older, but the single stacks, some places just wanted it, and everybody went to the double stack. And that's popular. And whenever they show up in any condition, they sell out until recently, until PSA had them. And that's another thing. You can tell people don't have money because a lot of these places are selling this stuff and it don't sell. And after about 4 months, you see they start dropping the prices down. Oh, we got a sale. We're going to knock $50 off them because nobody's buying them. They're there, but, people are just tapped out. Classic firearms, that's it. I keep thinking of not classic Century. I confuse the two of them, but classic firearms is the one. Wasn't me, it was him. All right, so I forget the other guy's channel because there's like several people that collect the antique guns and go out and shoot them and fire them, and I can't remember anymore, separate whoever. But yeah, somebody bought one of them 88 90s, I guess is what they all were, from Royal Tiger. And I've been looking for an 88 for a long time. And that's another thing, it's a gun I wanted. I wanted one that I can shoot. And yeah, I had to pony up some money. Actually, I went and checked what I paid for that thing in Royal Tiger, which, you're not going to shoot it. But I think I paid $200 more and I got a shootable weapon. It ain't exactly pristine, but I hadn't found an actual 88 that was in any type of condition. It was like 2-3 years it took me. I think the last time I found one and bid on one was 3 years ago. So some of these things, again, condition. You can find relics and stuff with no bores. I forget. Blind Sniper, he bought something off a Royal Tiger and he took the gun, he took the bolt out and he goes, here's a bullet that goes in there, and he went and dropped it right through the barrel, and then you're still paying. Even these grade C's that they've lowered it to a couple $100, down from 500 for a grade A. I think I got the certificate of authenticity. Let me see. It should be up here. Drop all my. Yeah. Yep. I got it. Oh, good. And I even went and looked it up. October 2019. Yes, this is what they were kind of sending to you. Let me get this off. Certificate of authenticity, 1888 Mannlicher, which it wasn't. It was 8890. That's another thing several people complained about. And they sent me this thing like a week after the gun arrived because it was an antique. They just sent it to the house. And I'll even tell you what the hell I paid for it. $636, because I went to the website and looked at my orders. And that's another thing. They show you what you paid, but they don't show you what it is. Let's see who was next here. Used to be all over. Okay. Uh, yep. $525 I paid for that gun. I mean, it's complete. I think it was complete. I don't know if I had to put an extractor in it or not, but it's like half of the barrel from the muzzle down is totally useless. I mean, it's over. So the bullet goes down, or that's why they were sawing them off. Whatever they did to them weapons, I don't know how they got half the barrel shot. I noticed that it must be how they stored them or something, and because that's why they hack off all these old long guns. They like hack them down because that it's 6-7 inches from the muzzles is gone, and that's why you see a lot of that weird crap with that Royal Tiger stuff. Yeah, Beretta 51s used to be all over. Yeah, it could have been. It could have. It was one of the guns he got. He he's bought several of them. Some of those bargain. That's what's confusing me. USNA 98. That's right. You're right. So you know it too. I mean, all you guys have some naval uh, thing on there. That's what confuses me. NIS or whatever. I didn't like them fellows, but yeah, that's who it is. USNA 98. I don't know if he came on once. He goes to church at this time, which I can't blame him. But that's probably why he doesn't come out. I know several people have something that goes on this time period, but well, let's see. I got lucky with my grade C from Royal Tiger. Great bore, shoots well, just needed a handguard. The next got absolutely burned and destroyed. See, they're grading. That's what one guy's being honest. Their grading makes no sense. So you got a grade C with a good bore that didn't have a handguard. I think they really don't know what they're doing because this was not an 1888, and there were several people that bought them that complained that we weren't getting sent 1888s. And one guy actually ordered one, and they sent him M95 long rifle, which is not anything like the 88s, 8896s. Yes, because what they do is I found out when I bought those little Italian Verily carbines, okay, they had them priced over about $1,000 or something, which if the things are good and shootable, they're a tough gun to find. Okay, they're very, very difficult gun to find. And they're converted. I have a couple single shots that weren't converted. Troop specials. They're not the carbines. They're troop specials. So I sent him the money and bought one, and it came to me. It was, I'd say, in between very low good to a fair. Okay, I'd say good. It was actually in good condition, and I did go out and was able to shoot it. I cleaned it up. It was all together. It was nice, great. Went out and shot it. So I said, a little on the steep side, which was a little bit better for the money I paid, but it did clean up and worked. So then all of a sudden, when I bought the one gun, they dropped the price down to like $500 or something, or something ridiculous. I mean, a huge reduction. And several people told me the same thing happened to me, and they said, "Well, if you're selling these for this, give me a discount or something." Uh, and uh, so I said, "You know what? I'll double down." So I sent them another grand to get two of them. And that's what I found. They had out of that whole pile of 6 or 7 of them, the one that was in shootable, good condition, they sold to me for an exorbitant amount of money. Then the reason they dropped the price is because of the rest of them. One came with the barrel loose, it had the right bolt in it, but the barrel was loose, and it was, you know. Then they had another one that had a bolt for the conversion to 6.5. It didn't even have the correct bolt in it. Okay. So the gun was kind of worthless. I did that one, the barrel wasn't loose, but it's like the magazine was uh, rusted away and pitted out and welded shut and everything, and it really piece of junk. Okay, I did go and shoot that one before I went, and I think I still got that one. The one with the loose barrel I sold, lost a shitload of money for it. I ended up getting maybe $250 for it, or $300. Now I lost on that, but that's the way it goes in this game. Too warm for rain and too warm for snow. Lincoln, but it's going to get cold. If it's wet, man, where I am in this part of the state, and we get freezing rain, it ain't going to be good. Well, I got a certification right here. Waiting for the sermon. Hmm. See mountains this week. Yeah, that ain't going to be fun. That's the thing. A lot of people are saying you can't forget them people. They're still screwed up there, living in tents and stuff. Yeah, but see, they can't do that. NRA grading. Nobody. People try to use the NRA grading. You can't, because there's all the stuff they're importing isn't in NRA grading. NRA doesn't have scrap iron. Okay. Or people use antique grading. Okay. If it's an antique and the bore's rusted out, that goes up to good or very good. It was exactly in what. I don't know what you mean by that. Exactly what they said it would be. Hey, morning. I got one on the gun broker or something, or somewhere. I wouldn't order one from them. I don't know. I have no idea on the condition. I haven't heard anybody uh, do that. But I forget where I got mine. It was either on the gun broker or some auction. I picked it up, and they're not bad. Yeah, I know situation's bad there. People bring it up all the time on Facebook locally here. People here, I got relatives that live there. Lock in the hubs and put the chains on. You grade anything by what is in your billfold. All right, that's one way of looking at it there. T. Carcano. Yeah, the Carcanos I got, the bores, they were complete. They were all right. They were 7.3 or 3.5s or whatever they were because I wanted one that wasn't sent to Finland. And what it was is I got it with the wooden stamp. They put some kind of weird stamp on there that it was a 7.3. Those are the ones that stayed in Italy and stayed, they didn't go to the front line. So I wanted an example like that, and I wanted one with folding bayonet. The one with the folding bayonet was crap. I got rid of it, and I ended up getting another one off of Gunbroker. It was much nicer with a folding bayonet, and I also got the one from Finland. But yeah, the ones from Royal Tiger, the bores, there was rust and stuff that will not come out. I mean, it's not a rusty bore or something from like firing corrosive ammo. I mean, the crap that's in there, it's corrosion that comes up and actually blocks and obstructs the bore. You know, it's not like you're saying, oh, somebody shot this gun, it's black, it's dark. You may be able to clean it and get it cleaned out, and maybe there's some rifling, but this actually has stuff in there that constricts the bore. You know, yeah, got an older one. All right, yep. Have a good day. What's the bore like in it? That's the question. I mean, some of the stuff I got from him, some of it I did. I bought a cut down Russian Baronin. The only thing is when they cut it off, they cut the friggin' barrel at an angle. The rifling's good. I could probably shoot it, but I have to go and file it straight and recrown it before I do that. It's something I may do someday. But yeah, does it have a sight on it? That's the question. A lot of them had the sights knocked off. Yeah, at that price, you know, it's not a bad deal. That's about what you're going to pay for a decent one, if you find it somewhere. I forget what I paid for mine, but it wasn't $150. What did he post? Another song or maybe a small play or something this time? Yeah, see, I ain't even going to fool around with them. Or the other one there, I was going to try to order something from Hunter's Lodge. And there's several guys on YouTube that do business with them and do these projects. And I tried contacting them, and it's royally screwed up. So finally, I told them, okay, this is what I want, and I wanted something that's not listed. Okay, it's something I've heard from other people, and I asked him, do you have this? And he goes, yeah. And I said, okay, I want the one thing listed, and maybe I'll get two of these other things. He tells me what it cost for the shipping to my FFL, and I said, all right, what's the price on these other items? And I've sent him several emails. Tell me what the price is. I'll get a check out to you. I said, I don't know what the exact amount is. Never answered. I said, you know what? Yeah, I don't need this crap. I don't need to be. I'm already up to my elbows repairing junk already. Fortunately, I ain't got no money in it. I'm muzzle loaders, but for me to actually spend money and try to resurrect these weapons and something using, nah, I'm too old for that. I ain't got that much time on earth to screw around with that crap. Simpsons. Oh, you mean the Modelo's? Yeah, that's like I said, that's about what the price is. You know, you want one. I don't know, like I said, cleaning the crap out of guns. I'd rather spend more money and have something I can go and actually shoot and use. Something I could probably resell also. TOZ 12 gauge. I will trim and ground the barrel for sure. See if the keyholes. Well, what are you going to shoot in the gras? Okay, the gras only works with paper patch bullets, and the only other bullet you can use is that healed bullet the French guy designed. And the only place you get the bullet molds is from that company in Australia. And even then, depending, uh, if you have one that is an 80/66 that's been converted from a needle fire, they're going to have that damn insert in the chamber, and they don't work well with anything but a paper patch undersized bullet. Okay, if you do have one with the barrel that doesn't have that weird thing in there, it's going to be tough to find a bullet because the reason that it's healed is you can't get a bullet the correct diameter to engage your rifling, whether it's good or not, and get it inside the case and get it to chamber. Okay, so that's a tricky gun to screw with, and if you use an undersized bullet, it just rattles down the bore, whether rifling is good or not. Gonna get a couple barrel actions. Okay, was blown off emails, calls seem to be the consensus. Yeah, I mean, you know, and then this stuff, everyone, even what's his name, ordered a bunch of stuff, and you got to wait 3 months. This you send them a check, they cash a check the minute they get it, but they don't ship your crap for 3 months on a backlog or something. I don't know if that company's doing that much stuff that it takes them 3 months to send it. All right, yeah, the gun was missing the rear side. I thought so. Did you ever solder sights back on the guns again? That's a little bit of a tricky business. Okay, you'll watch that after this. Savage Edge. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, okay, that's the rifle. That's what the guys were asking me about one time about when I was buying the discount guns. If I was going to buy a Savage Edge because it falls down into that category. But what's his name? That rotary barrel pistol. Yeah, yeah, man. Gotta get into that shit. Well, what's the bar on it? See, it depends. Cause see, like the trapdoors, they're cut for 400. The groove diameter on them is like 458, 459. It's pretty deep. Because the black powder guns have deep grooves because you need somewhere for the fouling to go. Okay, so that uses a totally different bullet. Most of the modern ones are a shallower uh, groove. I forget what it is for the 4570. It's kind of like, I know the 5070 is 510 for a modern gun, and then it's 515 or something, 18. I think I sized mine 518 to go in an actual trapdoor 5070 or black powder. 45, same thing. Go look at the Lee bullet molds, and you got two different diameters for them. Let me look real quick. I'll give you an idea. You might have to, if it's, I believe they cut it like a modern gun to shoot the jacketed bullets. Uh, Check this out if we can give you. I'm sorry, I just can't keep these damn numbers right in the top of my head. Handgun molds, rifle molds. And we're going with Lee. All right, it appears Lee has a 457, and the hollow base is 459. 459 for the pastel. It depends. $457, yeah. So let me look at Lyman's. Lyman will give you the exact 43 Spanish, 45. 457, 457. It looks like 457 is the cast bullet. Go line, yeah, 457, I guess, for the normal. But, and whatever. But depends, if 450, then they go 500. And then you can get those pastel styles, I think they call them, or whatever. Something like that. 13. Yeah, I've never shot. I've only shot the old 4570s, and that's a whole different ball game than a modern one like you have. I know that the groove diameter is a little bit more shallow than on the BP guns. Yeah, that's true. Everything black powder. Yeah, but that's the original one. That's going to be a larger diameter, and that's for the trapdoors. The gun he has, the rifling, I'm assuming, is shallower, so you really don't need that. All right, if you did it. Oxygen acetylene. Yep, how's everybody doing? Yeah, 340 and 405. It might be a ticket. I don't think Lee makes a 41 Swiss bullet. Okay, that's your first mistake right there is they don't make a Swiss bullet. What was it? 358. So yeah, that's I don't know where you got your information from, but they do not make a bullet. Uh, if someone's telling you to use that bullet, you're using the wrong damn bullet. You go to Old West Bullet Molds, and he makes a step or a heeled bullet for the Swiss, and that's the correct bullet to use. And that's the only place that makes it, unless you go with a different style. But then again, that's tricky business. The simplest thing to do: go to Old West Bullet Molds and get that heel bullet for the Betterly. Morning, Victor. I've never built one, so I don't know. Maybe someone else has some information on that for you. Oh, all right. That's cool. Yep, there he is. How's it going? Yeah, but anyway, you guys, probably if you want to get a fix on what the stuff is going to, go to one of them auction zip or something, hit their search, and see they will come up and tell you when auctions with that item are in there, or just go to some of them. Like I said, Poland's, Muskegee Auction Company. Who else is there? Usually has a lot of surplus. How was that one I participated in? And you got to look. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And there's a lot of small. Craft Auction Service was the one I went to. They had a 2-day thing. Guns were in Willie's Jeeps and that were in one auction. And then the next day was all helmets, daggers, uniforms, things like that. You can find these auction places that got all kinds of stuff in there. And if you watch them, if they're honest, you get an idea what people are paying. Of course, I don't find these people who pay me for my items, what I see closing these auctions, but it gives you an idea. And getting back to the original discussion, I'm also noticing I'm seeing more of this stuff come up. Japanese rifles, KR-98s. That means that the economy is bad, and if the economy crashes, you're going to see a lot of people caught by surprise, hurting for money. And because, once you get to a certain age, around retirement age, okay, you got problems with your friggin' teeth, end up costing you 5-6 grand. You got trouble with your friggin' car, anything with your vehicle is about $1,000 every time you show up somewhere to get it fixed. Um, so if people take a big hit in the stock market and stuff, and the economy tanks, and we're in a recession, we could lean towards a depression. You're going to see a lot of stuff start popping up in these auctions. Um, and then if the market gets flooded with all this stuff, okay, if people will buy it up, I don't know. If there's too much, well, like 9mm ammo, there's so much of it out there. They're still having these flash sales. They had a flash sale on some 308 ammo, okay, just the other day, and they said in 24 hours buy it, and actually with free shipping, it's quite reasonable. It's almost what the hell it costs for me to reload it. You know, uh, so you don't know, but I will make a video discussing that. They claim it is for. Yeah, they claim it's for on their site. I'd have to look at that lineup. It's too undersized. There you go. And show them what a real man is. And 500 grain bullets. That's the way to go. I bought one of those molds. I casted a bunch of the bullets, and I've never tried them out yet. I was going to lube them up and load up some gallery rounds with them. And I think you can fire them in one of the black powder revolvers also. I got to see if I can find them stupid things. Yeah, that's true. You got to use loaded down ammo. You can't use GP11 ammo in that gun. Because the other ammo is lower pressure. Okay, and actually the 11s, the 1911s, you're borderline. You should always load and back off. That's what I do with any of the Swiss ones. But yeah, 30-40 Craig, 34 loads. Yep, that's true. Gold deer grenade. Huh. Yeah, it's tough finding some of them obsolete molds. All right. Yes, you can. Yeah, it just got to be a lower pressure gun or load. I don't know what. It is a little bit bigger. I was using 220 grain 308 calibers for the 1889 one load, but they don't shoot worth a damn in the other guns. Okay. Also, it's got a very strange 3 groove rifling in there, and I forget what the hell cast bullet I used on there. Some I might have used 310 or something in the cast bullet department. Take them out, shoot them again. There's a lot of them around, and they're not as popular as a Mauser. Any Mauser made from any foreign countries is kind of more desirable than the older Swiss ones. But the state, they went up. I got a mint G31. I think I paid a little over $600 for it, but they were going 700-800. But now they've kind of dropped back down. It's hard to say. Some guns are popular, some guns aren't. You know. Yeah, that's about right. Have huge. So yeah, that's because of the black powder. It's a throwback. Yeah, they were half lead, half metal, paper patched, whatever. You're not going to do that. You're just going to use cast lead with a gas check's fine. What type of Vetterli? Swiss, Italian, you know. The Italian ones converted to 6.5. A lot of people like blowing them up. Yes, so let's see. Cheapest kind XD. So yeah, you'll be seeing it a lot as the economy gets worse. You're going to see a lot more stuff come up in these auctions, and just keeping an eye on them or checking them off as favorites and seeing what they close for. You don't even have to watch the auction; just mark them down in your favorites, and you can go up there and go back, see what they sold for, and it'll give you an idea what the going price is. Doesn't mean that you'll get somebody to pay you that. Sometimes in an auction, people get a little crazy. For either gun. Don't know. If you use an undersized bullet, see, that's where it gets tricky. A lot of guys do with an undersized bullet, but you put the correct diameter bullet in there, don't know. I just use a super light load with a cast bullet and got no problems. Yep, a lot of people have blown them guns up. Yes, that's true. Them cast loads are fine until, people wanted me to make them up for them. And I asked them, do you have a Royal Tiger rifle? And every single person told me yes. I said, is the bore clear with none of those huge lumps of rust or, well, it needs to be cleaned? I said, if it's pitted like a cheese grater, it's a lead bullet. Okay, so every time you fire it, it's going to scrape the lead off the bullet and start clogging up the barrel. Okay, all the ones I have didn't come from Royal Tiger. They were brought in years ago and languished around. You find them, nobody wants them. And the thing is, if you look, it didn't look like they've ever been fired. The way they cut that barrel in there, it does look gray and weird, okay, because of the material. All right, so none of them are going to be a shiny, clean bore. But if you got sharp rifling and no rust, yeah, you can shoot them. And then people tell you they come loose or the insert comes loose. That I've never seen that happen unless they were shooting military ammo in it. Maybe it does. Matt. Simplest for reloading. Yeah. So like I said, a couple things came up. I finally got an 1888, a real one. So that means I'll drag out all of my Austrian guns, probably do some videos comparing. Now I actually have an example to compare so you can see what it is. And then a couple other interesting handguns I picked up. Uh, and all that other fun stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna keep cranking out the videos. I had a pretty good run. Gonna still do some work with these last group of rifles I bought. Uh, the Set Me L has to go back. I called the company up. It took me a bit to contact them, but once I got a hold of them, they asked me for my address. I guess they're going to send me a label or something. They said, send the gun back. We know what's wrong. We got to do something to it. We'll fix it up and get it back to you. So that one I'm sending back because running that rear sight all the way to one side and the back, that's unacceptable. Find a mold, dies, and part. Yes, you can. It's fairly easy. I know, and see, that's a lot. Like I said, resurrecting them. Somebody sent me an email asking me where he could get a bolt for an Argentine Mauser, and I said I have no idea. And if you do find one, they're going to want a ton of money. And he goes, "Oh, have you heard where some of them, because they were made in Germany for a while, then they were made there in Argentina, that the bolts won't fit?" I don't know. Okay, if the rifle is incomplete, now I pass on them. If they don't have a bolt or there's a whole bunch of parts missing, I just pass on them. Well, that you might not. Okay, powder and primers and all that other stuff, that's going to be tough to find. And you have to decide on what powder to use. The powder I use, I don't know if you can get it. So might not be that easy. Yeah, it's you're not going to do it. Okay, it's everybody's been trying to piece them together once the price went up, trying to sell them. Uh, you know, it's tough. Start reloading or doing anything. Yeah, how's he going to tell that without a chronograph? Because I found that whatever's in the damn reload manual sometimes don't marry up with reality. Fortunately, it's always been lower than too fast. Yeah, well, like I said, today I've been working on them muskets or rifles, black muzzle loaders, black powder muzzle loaders, trying to get the rust out of the barrel. And what I believe it is, unfortunately, I looked up those guns. The Italian made ones, Dixie Gun Works still carries them. Uh, they're like $650 gun, and I've seen a few going at the auctions for upwards of three, 3.5, if they're in good shape. The only thing is, these guns are not in good shape. These guns are totally screwed, and I'm trying to see if I can. I believe what they did is fired them with Pirate X and then didn't clean them, which is bad. And I mean, I'm gonna make a video. I didn't do it on video because it was a 3-ring circus. If you run a jag with a patch down there, it gets stuck on that stuff and tears them patches into shreds. That's how bad one is. One wasn't that bad, but I used in the 50. I used a 45 jag in a patch, and it kind of got stuck, but I was able to get it out, pull it out without too much difficulty. And once I kind of started knocking whatever hell's in there, bits and pieces of stuff started coming the hell out. And then the evapor rust, you know, that's where we gotta go. Bolt shroud. Not anymore, as far as I'm concerned. Some people have a preference one or the other. Both of them are about the same on par. I have both, Pieta and Ubertis. I wouldn't be afraid to buy either one now. Depends on what you're reloading. Yeah, well, people don't go there and buy 400 or 500 pounds of that surplus cannon powder like you do. I forget what them things hold. One of them there. Uh, uh, yep. But yeah, I got that working on it. I got to send one of them fancy guns back to the factory. Uh, Somebody told me to use 77 grain bullets in there. Kind of, you know, I've never fooled with them. 62 grains were it, but that's old fashioned now, I guess. The local indoor range, of course he does. Really don't know. Haven't fooled with that. It's either black powder or not black powder. I don't swap out the cylinders to burn smokeless in them. But that's the way it goes. So yeah, guys, if you do, search some of the local auctions, get an idea, and look up what's out there, selling with the mill surplus guns. But yeah, I don't know. I got to ponder on it. I will make a video discussing it in detail. It's a tough call. Don't know where the hobby's going. Okay, and like some people said, that price is never going to come down on that because the supply of the things coming in are drying out. Much like some of the pistols and all this other stuff. Uh, as time goes on, they're becoming obsolete. And like the one guy said, the way the guns were designed, the older designs like the AK, it's not set up for CNC precision machining. It's a lot of handwork, a lot of stuff like that. Just better guns. And, you don't know. So we'll see. We'll see how the hobby transpires and goes over time. But I have clipped a few, looking at a few, going to see how the market is all the way around in terms of just ammunition in general. I don't think you're seeing any surplus ammo. If you do, it's Yugoslavian 7.62 by 39, and that's about some. They're bringing some of the steel case ammo in from somewhere, and I think it's part of what used to be Yugoslavia. That's where that Ingman and something else is coming. It's like another branch of PPU, and it's all in that region. A lot of that stuff coming out. But yeah, you're not seeing a lot of surplus come in. I don't even know. Now you go to auctions and find the spam cans of 7.62 by 54 and stuff. I don't know if anybody's selling them or any of that stuff. But but so yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna go rest up a little, then tackle my projects and probably make some videos on them. And I'd like to thank all you guys for showing up today, putting in your input and everything. And I'll see you guys next Sunday. Take it easy.